If Walmart decided to give every single employee a $5 per hour raise, how much would they have to increase in prices in order to keep the same amount of profit? So first, we have to determine how much this whole thing will cost. According to Walmart's website, they have about 1.6 million employees in the United States. Even though a lot of their employees are part-time, we're going to go ahead and overestimate the cost. Let's assume every single employee is working 40 hours a week. Since the wage is increasing by $5 per hour for every single one of those employees there, that brings us to a whopping total of $320 million a week. Assuming only Walmart customers are paying for this, how much would prices actually go up? Let's look at how many items are sold every week. So to do that, we have to find out how many people shop at Walmart per store per week. Each Walmart store has about 10,000 customers every single day, so that's 70,000 per week. And according to NASDAQ, the average shopping cart for each customer is about 13 items. Now, according to Walmart's website, they have about 5,283 total stores, but we're only going to use the supercenters. For supercenters, there are 3,561 in the United States. The reason we're doing it this way is because all of the other metrics involving items sold are only related to supercenters, so they don't really apply everywhere else. So corporation-wide, every single employee is getting that raise, but the supercenters are the ones paying for it. So that brings us to a total of 3,240,510,000 items every single week just from the supercenters alone. So spreading that weekly cost of $320 million across all of those items, that would increase the cost of every single item on average by, get ready for it, 10 cents. And I know what you may be thinking, but Nick, that 10 cents will add up in your cart. Not as much as you think. Remember, the average person buys about 13 items every trip to Walmart. That would make your total visit to a Walmart Supercenter about $1.28 more on average. And considering the fact that the average Walmart customer goes to Walmart about 63 times every year, that brings the total extra cost to about $6.74 a month, or about $80.88 per year. Okay, but Nick, if they increase prices, how are they going to compete against Target and Kroger and all of these other stores? Well, the average spending per trip to Walmart for each customer is about $54. But Nick, I spend way more than that when I buy groceries. I spend about $400. Yes, but you probably also go to Walmart to buy potato chips and batteries and stuff. That brings the overall average down. So anyway, with all of these numbers, that means that Walmart's prices would have to go up on average about 2.4% for each item. According to Finance Buzz, Target is about 5.4% more expensive than Walmart is. So you'd still save some money buying at Walmart versus Target. Kroger's almost the same. It's about a 4% increase over Walmart. So it would still be cheaper to shop at Walmart even with the price increases. Albertsons is about 13% more, so that's clearly still more expensive. The only stores that I can find that are cheaper than Walmart after the cost increases are stores that are already cheaper than Walmart. And Aldi is the main one that comes to mind. And all of that is just with a $5 raise. Let's go crazy. What if Walmart increased the salary of every single employee by $10 an hour? That would bring their starting salary from $14 an hour to $24 an hour, which for the average shopper would add about $13 to their total per month. And while that would make things a little bit more expensive than Kroger, it would still be cheaper than Target and Albertsons. Now, of course, keep in mind, this is short form content, and of course, I don't have access to all of Walmart's corporate information. So not only is all this math very speculative, there's also a whole lot more to talk about on this subject that I don't cover in this video. But this does go to show that if Walmart wanted to increase wages, even if they wanted to pass all of that cost onto us, they absolutely could. But with all that in mind, why wouldn't they increase wages? You'd think that if it was that simple and that easy, they would have done it already, right? Well, there are a lot of reasons why Walmart as a corporation would not want to increase wages, especially to that amount. The first and primary reason is their shareholders. Both increasing prices and increasing wages, especially without a reason economically, are considered risks for investors. Even though on paper it doesn't seem that risky, in reality it actually kind of can be. Walmart as a corporation has extremely low profit margins. In the last 2 quarters of 2021, their margins were 1.78% and 1.4%, which means if you go to Walmart and you buy $100, less than $2 will probably go to the corporation. Even if you increase prices, increasing wages will further narrow that profit margin. So investors will want to see a lot of profit in return for increasing prices and increasing wages, which means even if Walmart did increase their wages by about 2%, that money would probably not go to their employees. It would probably just go to the company to make their investors happy. And then once the company proves that it's sustainable, they might pass a little bit of that on to the employees, but it wouldn't be that much. And that's still unlikely because they'd have to prove to the investors that this is a worthwhile decision that will eventually get them more profit. And considering the fact that Walmart and McDonald's are the 2 corporations with the most employees on welfare, that's unlikely. But what if they wanted to do all of that without increasing prices? Would they be able to? And as we talked about earlier, if they increased every single wage for every single employee by $5 per hour, that would amount to about $320 million per week. That works out to about $16 billion per year, which would turn a $13 billion revenue into a $3 billion million loss. And again, that just comes back to their very low profit margins. So long story short, if Walmart wanted to do something like this, they'd first have to increase prices to improve their profit margins, and then they would have to start increasing wages over the course of time. And in turn, none of that money that they'd actually be making would end up going back to their employees, because why would it? So at the end of the day, could Walmart increase its wages? Probably yes. But will they increase their wages? No, probably not.